What's going on, guys? Super here back with another video, and today we're going to be making a Nightstalker build. This build I generally think might be the strongest build for all of Hunter in the entire game. But anyway, let's just get into it here quickly. So super is really up to you. I prefer MOEBIUS QUIVER depending on the situation, and then sometimes DEADFALL. DEADFALL usually for a boss, and then MOEBIUS QUIVER maybe for like add clear, or sometimes even as well too for a boss, just for that nice chunk of damage it can give. I'm going to be using Marksman dodge just for the shorter cooldown, and also so I can just reload my weapons. Obviously snare bomb because it's the only bomb you can use unless you're using the other aspect. Vortex grenade, and then for aspects you're going to use Stylus Executioner, and then vanishing step. So basically, you know, it's the whole cycle of shade stepping to go invis, and then proccing volatile from Gyrfalcons. For fragments here, we're going to be using one of the new ones, the Echo of Cessation, I believe is how you pronounce it. Finish your final blows create a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile. Defeat volatile targets creates a void breach. And void breach gives you class ability energy back, which is kind of nice. Next one's going to be Echo of Starvation. Picking up a void breach or an overpower grants devour, and with how builds are now, you're going to be spamming orbs with this build like insanely, so you're just going to have devour up 24/7. Next one's going to be Echo of Obscurity. Finish your final blows grant invisibility, so this will actually synergize in with Echo of Cessation. So on those finishers you're going to be causing nearby combatants to become volatile, while also going invis to kind of refresh the loop of Gyrfalcons, let's say if you don't have an ability up. And then lastly, Echo of Undermining. Your void grenades weaken targets. Now onto the armor here. Obviously you're going to be using Gyrfalcons with this, which after being invisible, your void weapons gain volatile rounds, and finishers, while invisible, grant bonus damage for all weapons and reserve overshield for allies. While the second part is useful, the most important part of this build is just the first part of your void weapons gaining volatile rounds. Let's start with the helmet here. So for the helmet, I'm going to be using Void Siphon so that my void weapon kills can get me Orbs of Power, Heavy Ammo Finder, and then Heavy Ammo Scout, so I can just basically be the role of this class, which is just a DPS support. For gloves, I'm going to be using Focusing Strike, bolstering detonation, excuse me, and Void Loader. The reason I'm using Void Loader is because I'm using the Duality SMG, which I don't really like how it handles, or it's extremely slow reload speed, so I think this adds a little bit extra to it. You could instead use something else, like maybe Grenade Final Blows, proc and Overpower. That's really up to you for that third slot, but I think the first two are, you definitely should have Focusing Strike and Bolstering Detonation, 100%. Chest piece, as always, up to you. I like Charged Up, and then Concussive Dampener and Sniper Damage Resist, so I can just get some damage resist while also getting that extra stack of armor charge. For the boots, going to be using 3 stacks of Void Weapon Surge, so I can have that 22% damage boost at all times. And lastly, the class item, 2 stacks of Bomber, and Time Dilation, of course, to get that 15-second decay of armor charge for the damage boost. Now onto the weapons here, which is actually kind of important for this build. Obviously going to be only using a Void weapon. Void SMGs will definitely be king for this. You could use a Trace Rifle if you really want a double special. You're going to have to be really good about your ammo efficiency though with that, especially because this is a build that's not about as much ability spam as it is just point and shoot your weapon. Unforgiven from the Duality Dungeon is probably the best SMG you can use for this build, because you can get roles like Demo Adrenaline Junkie, Demo Frenzy, which is actually the role I'm looking for, and then also Demo Golden Tricorn, which I don't really recommend. I would say Demo Adrenaline or Demo Frenzy is your 2 best bets for this build. The SMG can also drop with Repulsor Blaze, so if you have that, good idea to hold on to that. I also have a Hero's Burden with Repulsor Blaze, which I was messing around with, which can add a little bit extra survivability to this, but I definitely prefer just kind of the ability spam, because I think in most content you're not really going to need that overshield, even though overshields do get a buff and they're very good. Heavies, I'm personally using the new Seasonal Grenade Launcher Reginant. I got the crafted one with auto loading and explosive. It is fantastic. You can really use any Void Heavy you want, but I would definitely recommend doing that to just kind of you know, take advantage of that 22% damage boost. And then for the kinetic slot, it's really up to you. That's 100% on you. Whatever special you think's good. I could use an exotic, like I'm using the raid exotic shotgun. You could use Izanagi's, Arbalist, Witherhoard, whatever will do fine. The most important part of this build is just your primary weapon. I 100% recommend you getting Unforgiven for this build. It'll make the build easy work. But anyway, guys, that'll be the build here. I'll just leave some extra footage here at the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.